Guys, I'm so pissed off. My hands are shaking. I can't even film. It's a school. Why would Russia bomb this school? Like, what? For what?
Missile attack on the Ukrainian city of Lviv has injured 19 people and left a kindergarten damaged.
Our military analyst, Professor Michael Clark. So, Michael, why is Russia attacking Lviv?
Lviv, a very safe city in the west of the country, very near the Polish border. It hasn't been attacked much before. One assumes that the Russians are trying to make the point here that nowhere in Ukraine is safe, and that if Moscow can be attacked with drones, albeit ineffectively, they can put a pretty effective attack in on civilian areas of Lviv.
All right, so we're gonna go drive to the missile attack area.
There are some old villas here dating back to late Austrian period, and yeah, some of the wealthiest people in Lviv actually live in this area here, and in general, nice, quiet, lively neighborhood. This is also like this building was built a few years ago, but now like from here we'll basically go from the pre-war Lviv into the new areas which were developed after World War II already. And basically we tell that Lviv is a 1 million population village because mostly people know each other, which obviously affects your behavior, I would say, because respect is very important within the society, and just trust, relations, like this what's really in value here, I believe.
Here we have the Khrushchevkas.
Khrushchevkas are actually 5-story building. I'll show you Khrushchevkas. Yeah. I think the affected area where we're going now, there are some Khrushchevkas because I was actually born and like my first 3 years of life I spent in that area. That's why it's very personal to me as well. During the rapid industrialization after World War II, Nikita Khrushchev, which was the next leader of the Soviet Union after Stalin died, he decided like, okay, let's move over 20 million people in Ukraine from rural areas to the cities, to support all this industrialization, so that this kind of like typical standard housing was developed all around the country. In Lviv it's less visible because it was a big historical area, but many cities in the east are basically built out of those Khrushchevkas.
But
mostly.
These are built at the same time, yes?
Yeah, so these buildings, like this is actually my street where I lived during my early years as well. So these are built in the 80s, I believe so. Yeah, and there's something like modern stuff you see being built.
Much more beautiful.
But the reason why Khrushchevkas are only 4 stories high, or at most 5, is because that's the maximum limit that most people are willing to walk and not have an elevator. So they save money on that.
You see on there, like behind the street, this 9-story building is where my actually granny lived until recently. Still, we'll be passing by it just. Yep, that's the one. Oh, okay, that one. I feel some nostalgia, but not too much, because since the last almost 20 years I'm mostly hanging out and living in downtown, in the historical area, so I'm more attached to that. So when I come here, I have some slight memories from my childhood, where you were, like it's actually not a bad place to raise a family, because you have all your neighbors around you. You spend most of your time outside on the street playing with kids, not being stuck with a lot of like urbanization. There are a lot of green spaces here. It was. I don't complain at all. I had a beautiful childhood, I believe so. But still, like back then, this area felt pretty distant from the city because the public transportation was not that developed as it is now. And now, it takes like 20 minutes to drive from the city center. Back then, maybe because I was much younger, it felt like a substantial trip if you go somewhere, some event in the city center, for example.
Reminds me a lot of Leipzig in Germany, Eastern Germany.
Maybe.
All right, so just in front of us should be the area that was hit by the Russian missiles. We don't have that much information just because They try to keep a little bit of hush-hush, just so Russia doesn't know what exactly they hit. But we do know it hit at least a few residential buildings. So let's go take a look.
Maybe don't clearly film here, or maybe yeah, you see it's locked. There are police. They don't let.
Oh wow, windows are smashed. The rocket attack. There's a lot of people standing outside, checking what's going on. There's a building right here. All the windows are smashed as well.
Let me take my license in case they will ask. If we are asked, I have my press card, which is issued by the Ministry of Defense, basically giving us a legit reason to report.
Wow,
and
he's already fixing the glass. You see that? That's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. So
Okay.
this building is completely smashed.
Uh-huh.
Wow, look at this. Completely just all the glass smashed out. That's crazy, guys.
Mm-hmm.
But they're repairing it really fast. That's
Oh,
what's
yeah.
cool. But hundreds of windows are smashed.
With a firefighter
So
car
I normally don't
at the
come
end of the street.
to these like straight afterwards. I normally go a few days after, and usually even a day after things are cleaned up. And as you can see, they clean up really quickly. But right now it's fresh. This is just a few hours later.
I didn't see too much from inside the car, but the buildings on both sides of the street had shattered windows. So let's see what we'll find out when we go closer.
So much broken glass, kind of destroyed parts of people's homes, and then beautiful flowers. Oh, look at this guy's house. The windows all smashed out. Yeah. At least the house survived. Yeah. Wow, they repaired this quickly. Guys, look. These windows.
So we're inside the neighborhood already, and many windows are destroyed over here, as you can see.
This guy's brand new Lexus. All got. Ooh.
This is actually the building where I was born, all the way back in 1987. Not really born, but I mean, grew up, and my family lived there back then. And this place was really, really close where it's hit.
You were born in this building? Yeah. Wow.
Exactly.
Oh, looks like there's already some volunteers here. That's nice. You see all these cars just covered in ash or dirt. This guy's car, the window was smashed. They're covered in plastic. There's some cops on the left. We have an ambulance here. Cool volunteer tents already set up. Lots of windows broken. And we have a little help center who has tea and coffee and get medical care if they need. I think my favorite thing about Ukraine is how fast people get together. Like, you never see Red Cross or UN or any of the kind of bigger organizations. It's always like smaller ones we've never heard of. I think that might be Ukrainian Red Cross, which actually only gets 1% of Red Cross's funding. So even though Red Cross will claim they're helping, they get less than 1% of all Red Cross's funding for last year, even though probably 90% of the donations came for Ukraine. You can see people here. All the smashed windows. Clearing this up. People getting statements, doing assessments.
There are some things on the top over there, and there was also a hit. People are trying to fix stuff.
This is a really nice house. Unfortunately, it was only windows that were smashed, but still. Like, imagine all that cleanup of the glass. And this is just from being a bit further away. Okay, within 6 hours, people are already replacing windows. It's crazy. 6 hours, and they're already replacing.
Yeah.
Already replacing.
You
windows.
lost, Johnny, this.
Oh shit! Did I fuck?
You lost it somewhere far away.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. But yeah, people are fixing it. And that building you see was damaged.
Yeah, it's really bad.
It's like a big impact, right? Look at this. Yeah, crazy.
Do you have any information about
Process is doing here. Yeah, big stuff. And there is like an attack that was there by the rocket. I was just asking about the casualties. Like, no, actually in Lviv there are no casualties.
No casualties.
There was a massive attack in a few different cities. There are casualties in other towns like Khmelnytsky. But in Lviv, the attack was pretty large, but fortunately no people died. And as you can see, like mostly civilian objects are.
But it's also hard to know specifically because a lot of times they'll say nobody's died, but there's 4 people or 20 people in the hospital. Or 20, 30 people missing.
Yeah.
And normally a few days later, some people don't survive, but then that's already out of the news cycle in a lot of people's heads. So it's always important to say nobody's died so far. There's no casualties so far. And
Let's hope no casualties will be.
Yeah.
And those like things are really, it's a legit war crime. So yeah, we need to remember it, we need to speak about this and show basically what cruelty is happening here.
They did it in Syria, they did it in Georgia, now they're doing it here.
Yeah. So it's not their first time.
No, it's not
And
their first
even
time.
like this year, it's not their first time.
Yeah, I don't know if I picked it up, but yeah, it's a pattern. They did it in Chechnya, Georgia, Donbass, Syria, and now again they're doing it here. So
Yeah, Mariupol.
yeah, the nonsense about it's just a missing, an errant, a missile that just missed its target. Like no.
Yeah. It's like every other day, it's missing a target. And look, I guarantee this isn't. This babushka is not some FBI agent or something. It's her house.
Yeah, clearly this is where they park the CIA bomber planes.
Yeah. Like, imagine like this is your house. This is your car. Everything's just like so much destruction. Someone's minivan. It's like someone like soccer mom, right? Look at this. Look at this nice house. For what? Look at this. There's volunteers here. Look at all this. This is just from this morning. Just a few hours. Look at this. Look how beautiful this is. All destroyed. All because of fucking Russia. Yeah, this is like a children's dormitory or something. So it's kitchen. It's kindergarten. It's like a dormitory for kids, like a kindergarten, school. It's so terrible. Look at this. I can't believe Russia would do this.
Who are you?
Hi. How are you? Oh my God! I'm living in Kyiv, just visiting friends, and
Yes.
it's crazy. Why would Russia do this?
Yes. Please.
Oh my God! It's like playground.
Very
big. Why? Why Russia do this? Look at this playground. It's destroyed. You know what this is? It's a children's playground. And you know what that is behind you? School? It's a kindergarten. It's so crazy, right? How insane is that? Oh, we're seeing the pizdits. Look at this. It's like some kids' toys. Like, what this kid do? Zачем? Zачем, guys? Let's see if I get into this kindergarten. Oh my God, guys. My hands are shaking. I can't even. Guys, I'm so pissed off. My hands are shaking. I can't even film. Like, what kind of military target is this, guys? Like, this is clearly where like little kids sleep. Like, Russia's gonna take this video and say, oh, this is like barracks for soldiers. I'm like, unless our soldiers are like 3 feet tall, I don't think they were sleeping here. NATO supplied books and gear. Look at this. Oh my god. Not for soldiers, guys. God, imagine cleaning this. Yeah. Oh, I'm so pissed. Guys, I'm so angry. Look at this. Here's a playground that Russia put a crater through. People's houses, people are still living there. I shouldn't be here because this building might collapse on me any minute. There's things falling everywhere. There's glass everywhere. It's dangerous. Like, it's dangerous to be here. Like, but I mean, look, you walk through this doorway, there's like glass going on. You know? Luckily, I have a hat on, I guess. But man, like, it's really fucking Russia. I can't believe Russia has done this again. And, like, almost every other day for a year and a half now. Like, why does the world continue to let Russia do this? When is enough enough? When will the world say, that's enough, Russia, you're never allowed to do this again. If you do this, we're destroying all your Black Sea fleets, we're cutting off your country, you're not part of this. Привіт. Зачем?
Жах.
Русі піздець, зачем?
Жах, то що добре, що не було дітей, що не в робочий час. У нас би не було.
Yeah.
Такий гарний садок, там все знищено, сволочі. А журнал де наш пошерстів.
So.
А що, дітка, де буде?
Thank God for all these brave Ukrainians. The only reason why I'm able to kind of keep going, I guess, is knowing that Ukraine is rebuilt. Like, they don't let Russia stop them. There's literally a pile of brand new windows and mirrors here. There's hundreds of workers, volunteers, staff, people from neighborhoods. They're remounting windows as we speak. And I want to remind you, this happened at 5 this morning, and it's 3 p.m. now. We had lunch, we came straight here, and within a few hours, you have a whole team of people rebuilding the school, some of the apartment buildings, the houses that you saw. Like, the Ukrainian resilience is amazing. It really is. Russia can bomb all they want. Ukraine is going to keep rebuilding. I've been in schools like this, in deoccupied Gostomel and near Irpin, but normally months after they cleaned up, not, hours later. But look at this. Oh, Rusini pizdits. Zачем? It's a school. It's a school. Why would Russia bomb this school? Like, what For what?
Where from you?
America, California.
California?
Yeah.
What do you in our country?
I'm trying to help. Yeah, but it's crazy. Like, it's crazy. Russia is crazy. Trochę rozumію. Wiecie.
Fucking Russian, yeah?
Fucking Russia, this I understand. I think everyone understands this. Oh my god. Look here. Oh my god. Look at this, guys. Kick this way through. Говорить английскую, yes.
Хтось розмовляє ідеально англійською? Англійською ти розмовляєш?
No. Well, guys, unfortunately, no one here speaks English, but I don't think you need to ask. Like, it just you can just look around. There is no reason for Russia to bomb this place. Like, it's clearly a school, like a active school. You know, luckily it was early in the morning, so no kids are here. But like they're not gonna be able to come back to school. Like, if your kids, like, would you send your kids back here? Like how, like, you can clean the glass, but would you trust it? Would you trust a shaky building? Like, look, there's a fish tank here that's like clearly being looked after. So this is not like some abandoned school used as a military base. This is a school for kids. I don't know if it's a thing or it's just my mind, but I feel like I breathe in so much broken glass dust that can't be healthy. And those people who are in there, they just like they're sweeping up dust without masks the whole time. And I just got a notification. I think there's an air alarm happening, so I hope they won't strike this specific area again. Because sometimes Russia will strike a place again when they know volunteers are there, when they know the police are here and the medics are here, just to do like a double tap damage. Dog's freaked out. It's an air raid. Everyone's just ignoring that. Ooh, that's crazy. It's insane.
And now it's another alarm, yeah?
Yeah. People look worried.
People now they look worried, but usually they don't hit at the same time. In the same.
No, they do a lot actually, often, because they. Yeah. Oh, what do you guys impressions?
It's pretty heavy.
It's crazy, right?
It's like for me, it's very. It just feels just like going through Boryanka, Irpin, and Bucha, but much more fresh.
More fresh, yeah.
We just discussed the question if you see the reports about such residential bombings, you never have the big picture, so you always wonder a bit like the blame game that happens or something. But I mean, here it's very, very obvious. We walked around this area, we've seen residential buildings, and there is no military facility anywhere around. This is where people live. This is a residential area.
Well, there's a post office and a church that maybe some military guys use on their off days. And that's all the excuse Russia needs, right? Maybe there's a McDonald's there, but...
And like really, this is the building where I spent my first 3 years of my life. This one.
You grew up here?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is where they're hatching journalists.
Yeah.
You know?
They were after you. Take it
People
personal.
that pursue the truth.
They just didn't have any late updates.
Overnight missile attack on the Ukrainian city of Lviv has injured 19 people and left a kindergarten damaged.
That's right. These Russian airstrikes in western Ukraine targeted 2 regions which border neighboring Poland, which of course is a NATO member, killing 3 people and wounding around a dozen more. Capital Lviv, as you pointed out, Meg, that was targeted and also saw a kindergarten playground hit. This, of course, is very worrying. In fact, according to Ukraine's Air Force, the Russian strikes involved at least 28 cruise missiles, but that 16 had been shot down. But as we've been saying, causing considerable damage, death, and fear.